It's a clean green project in the clean green state of Tasmania. It'll be producing reliable renewable electricity 24/7, and it'll also be producing a high-grade lithium. So it's a combined two-stream project, it'll be a Tier 1 project in the Tier 1 mining and energy jurisdiction of Tasmania. The team has got, we're long-term Tasmanian residents, got good connections with the bureaucracy and decades of corporate and technical experience. I've been in the industry for the best part of 50 years, and I've got to say this is the most exciting project that I've seen, let alone one that I've been involved with, and hopefully you'll see why that's the case when we've finished. We're seeking to raise $6 million, which will totally de-risk the project. It's a twofold opportunity. First one is electricity. The energy transition means a lot more electricity is going to be needed, and also as the baseload generators are closed, the coal-fired power stations are closed, so then the demand for dispatchable electricity is going to get the value of that will increase disproportionately. And geothermal is the electricity that does that. It's not new. It's been going for over 100 years. There's 600 plants globally producing geothermal, dispatchable electricity. What is new in the last year or so is it's now capable of producing at scale. There's a project in the States, in Utah, and it's a 0.4 gigawatts. So that's changed the name of the game. It's also expanded where geothermal is prospective, which means less transmission lines are needed and a faster deployment. Numerous attributes, not least of which the diagram here shows the footprint. The footprint's the smallest footprint of any generator, which I think is important. Second opportunity is the lithium. As we get increasing amounts of intermittent generation, we need associated storage. Lithium gives you the best bang for your storage dollar, and it's got an assured long-term future. And you can see here that the change in the large supply-demand gap. We're just on the cusp now in 24. It's an early-stage industry. If you've been following lithium, the price is pretty volatile at the moment, but that will certainly settle down. And the other important fact is that we'll be extracting lithium from a brine, from solution, so we'll be using a thing called direct lithium extraction, and that's a very sustainable, low-impact way of extracting, mining lithium. And it's very likely that we'll be getting other metals extracted from a brine as well. That's happened in the past, and I think it'll be a growing thing. There's some of the advantages of direct lithium against conventional mining. I want to emphasise that Lamont is exceptional. We've got there's 3 or 4 other areas which have got the appropriate factors of it's a high temperature area. We talk about high heat flow. You also need relatively high-grade lithium. Most geothermal plays are low in lithium, so you've got to find one that isn't. And then you also need a high flow rate of your brine so that you can generate lots of electricity and extract a reasonable amount of lithium. So there's particularly Cornwall and the Upper Rhine have got similar geology to Lamont. And there's an ASX-listed Vulcan Energy. It's got a market cap of about 0.8 bill in the Upper Rhine. It's got a very similar development strategy. Peer comparisons on the left, we've got the amount of power. We think we'll be producing the amount of electricity per well comparable to Cornwall and the Upper Rhine. On the right, we've got the resource. So the resource is millions of tonnes of lithium carbonate equivalent on the y-axis. We'll expect to have a median grade, but we'll expect to be well into the first quartile on size. This is very rough financials, but you need to know or have some idea of the size of the industry. The current price is around $14,000 per tonne of lithium carbonate equivalent. The pundits suggest that it will have a floor price of around $25,000, has been much higher, but somewhere between $14,000 and $25,000. The mean target production's around 20,000 tonnes per annum, and that gives you, in Australian dollars, an income of somewhere between 0.5 and 1 bill with an OPEX of 0.2. So the financials look very good with a relatively short payback period. And you would need 200 such operations at that level of production to fill the gap. I'm a geophysicist of several decades. Most of that's been based in Tasmania. Most of it's been metals. And Shane Bartell is another investor, and he runs Climate Capital, which develops mainly wind and solar. And we're looking to appoint a third director when we get the funding. So we're seeking to raise $6 million at an $8 million valuation. There's a share structure. I'll give you a little bit more detail on how we're going to spend the funds. Most of it will go into that slimline test hole. That will give us a maiden lithium resource, which we think will be a rather big resource. That's the target reservoir you can see there. And to scale, that's 80 kilometres is the length of the licence. So it's a large volume. We'll also get an upgrade on the existing geothermal resource that's there, and we'll quantify the parameters for a PFS. Get the right metrics for that. We would then drill a second slimline hole, and that would allow us to put a pilot geothermal plant of about 0.3 to 0.4 megawatts and a DLE plant that would allow us to find the appropriate method of processing. The thing about DLE, it's a range of physical and chemical processes, and each brine is different, and you have to find the correct flow sheet. That would cost us 20 to 25 bill, and after that, the DLE testing and go to full-scale production. The direct lithium was incorporated specifically for this project. My family interest has got most of the shares at the moment, but we wish to go. I've rung the bell a couple of times in this building. It's not the appropriate vehicle for this stage of company. It may become an exit strategy, more likely when we'll be raising upwards of $1 billion for a very large-scale lithium factory, then that might be the time to float. But otherwise, we're seeking private funds. Thank you very much.